Hi guys, welcome back. It's Tracy with TR's Tarot Talk 1111. I'm here in my jammies again for you guys. See, I love you so much. I show up all dressed up for you. So listen, I've been having a lot of technical difficulties. We had that full moon on the 7th, the super moon, and I posted some pictures of the moon with clouds around it that my son took. If you haven't looked at the community page, go check those out. They're pretty rad. I mean, really, really. It looks like the eye of God is not too pleased with humans right now. And right after those pictures were taken, we had a thunderstorm and lightning and hail and torrential rain. It was almost biblical in nature. It was so freaky. And it came on so strong and fast and went away just as quickly. I don't even think it, maybe 20 minutes, maybe. Anyhow, our something happened to our internet. So that's why I didn't get the full moon, super moon videos up. So I think it's up and running. I'm making these videos with the hopes and intents that they will upload. And they're going to be mini versions of my usual monthlies because I want to get them to you as quickly as possible. So this particular video, as you guys know, I like to do a super moon, full moon, channeled message, channeled from spirit. And I don't know if this is really channeled. I feel like I was channeling when I wrote it, but it's actually my heart and what I feel is going on right now. So I posted this on Facebook. I'll probably post it here on YouTube as well. And I'm going to read it to you guys because, this is what was heavy on my heart today. And instead of doing an automatic writing channeled message, I just wanted to kind of channel me, channel Tracy. What does Tracy think is going on at this time? So this is what I wrote. I'm going to read it to you briefly. It's not real long. I wrote, the year 2020 is going to be a very revealing year, not just with light being shown on all the BS and atrocities that have been hidden from sight, such as pedophilia, human trafficking, corrupt governments, corrupt government officials, heads of corporations and institutions, CERN, biological warfare, artificial intelligence, secret societies, paradigm-altering technologies, miracle medicines and cures, which, by the way, could heal the world and our people, off-world beings, malevolent and benevolent, but also what can we see within ourselves, that 2020 vision, okay? So we know what's going on out there in the 3D world. And by the way, I believe, I don't know if I'm right, but I believe that those are all timelines. They are, we kind of choose what vibration we want to be in, which determines which timeline we will be on. And those are choices, just so you know. It's not like the universe moves you to the timeline you deserve. It's not about what do you deserve. It's not a punishment. It's about what do you choose, right? What timeline do you want to experience? So anyhow, I'm going off on a tangent. So back to this, we need to take a 2020 view on what within ourselves. Can we see that maybe we had blinders on before and couldn't? So 2020 is clear vision. It is the age of enlightenment, age of Aquarius, the golden age. This is a year of finally having our blinders removed and allowing us for the first time to truly see that hand behind the curtain, the almighty Oz. Now that has a little bit of a negative connotation because, on different timelines there are some wizards that are not doing very good things behind the curtain. But depending on your vibration and what timeline you are on, there are lots of wizards out there behind the curtain that are creating A whole new world, guys, a whole new world. So it's also a year where, due to this quarantine, I believe we will be learning to sit in reflection. If my life ends today, and for some it will, what do I have to show for my efforts? What did I create? How will I be remembered? What is my legacy to my children and my family, my friends, my city, my state, my planet and country? Country and planet, actually. And am I happy with it? Am I happy with what I've created? Am I happy with the way I've allowed people to treat me, the way I've treated other people? Am I happy with the decisions I've made and the choices that I've made? Because, quite frankly, I never really felt as empowered as I do right now to make choices that I consciously make instead of allowing the subconscious to make them for me. And I want this to be a time for you guys as well to be conscious creators, to be conscious of the choices you're making, right? So then, because of this quarantine, we will ask the same questions also about others that we just asked of ourselves. What are their legacies? And if they died today, I'm losing my place here. Okay, so what about others we love and align ourselves with? What if they died today? And some will. Who and what do we value and love? How do we be more authentic to ourselves and still not harm others? Where do we contribute to the problems or to the answers? And where can we shine a light instead of shade? But mostly, who do we want to be moving forward? Because we do have to move forward, guys. You can't roll over and give up. And you can't say yes. If enough people say no to anything that should be said no to, if enough people say no, paradigms, worlds, planets, universes change. They expand, they grow. So who do we want to be moving forward, and how can we make changes to help create that very experience? It's beautiful to have friends that are always there and love you unconditionally. Those are keepers. But also, what relationships need to go? How can we separate ourselves from those who seek to bring us down instead of building us up? Who doesn't support the future you're trying to create for yourself, or we are trying to create for ourselves? I find symbolism in everything. The etymology of corona is crown. I believe I talked about this before. And the definition is halo. In numerology, 1, 9, COVID-19, is 1 plus 9 equals 10, which reduces to a 1. 10 represents completion, and number 1 represents new beginnings. Think on that symbology just for a minute, guys. Whoever named, now I'm not saying they created it, maybe they did. In some timeline, I'm sure they did, but there's other timelines running alongside that one. But however the virus came about, who named it? Crown, halo, 19. It's just, I don't know. So to get back to it, we've got 1, because it reduces to a 1, that represents new beginnings. We will be, I believe, experiencing in 2020 endings of old things and beginnings of new. So 2020 is the master number 22, which represents duality. It represents a lot more, but I didn't want to look it up. Choice and mirror and reflection. And 2 plus 2 equals 4, which is foundations, belief systems, paradigms, and structures. So 2020 is considered perfect vision. I believe this will be a year of tearing down old belief systems such as religions that enforce separation, fear, or judgment in the name of love. They do it in the name of love, which is the crazy thing. Anyhow, the tearing down of governments, institutions, secret societies, relationships, friendships, marriages, partnerships, businesses. A lot of things need to be tore down, guys. They were karmic lessons. We've learned from those lessons. Once you learn the lesson, there's no reason to sit in the lesson. Rise above the lesson. Take the lesson out. Learn from it. Put it in the past. I'm sorry if that means there are people out there that get divorced. Maybe that's the highest and best energy for everybody involved. If there are people out there that have business partnerships with people that are just lower vibrational, maybe they're not, maybe they're swindlers, or maybe they're not making good choices. All structures that no longer support who you want to be and what you're creating from this day forward. And it better be in good karma, because I believe that the whole planet is in a karmic review. What you put out is what you will get back. And that's kind of, that makes me sit in these quarantine times real quiet and think about, what have I done in my life? And have I struck a balance? Because when I was younger, very asleep in the matrix, very egotistical, very self-centered, very self-motivated, versus who I've become, which I really believe that I've become the highest and best version of myself, or at least I'm breaking my back trying to be. That didn't even sound good coming out. But I've been doing so much inner work, and I've learned so much. And I know I'm not perfect. Nobody's ever perfect. But we level up. When you're in a karmic anything, karmic life, karmic lesson, karmic relationship, karmic family dynamic, karmic job, karmic. Karma is a lesson, right? What you put out, you get back. I think I've paid off my old bad karma. I really do. I think I've struck a balance. That's the divine masculine, divine feminine. I believe that I have ascended to the next level, whatever that is. Is it the top? Hell no. But I do believe I've made it to the next level, and I want to be a light. I want to be a way shower. I want to be an example of how that can be done. And that by no means that I'm done with all of my lessons. It just means that I've got enough knowledge of those lessons that I've learned to be able to leave them in the past and learn from them and move forward and, just kind of create new stuff and hopefully good stuff. And the next time the planets align for me to have a karmic review, for all of us to have a karmic review, maybe, just maybe, it'll be a really good one. And leveling up will come easier and easier with every review. It's kind of like ascension, right? One level to the next, but not because you're stepping on other people's heads and hands and backs to get there, but because you honestly put out good. And so the universe naturally is going to bring good back to you. So I wanted to finish this. I keep going off on a tangent here. I'll put it up on my community page. So I don't even know where I was. Tearing down old belief systems, religions, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so yeah, I believe 2020 is going to be clear vision. We're going to begin to see what structures and foundations are strong, and those that with divine intercession, because that's what I believe is happening. Go look at those pictures my kid took of the moon. Divine intercession. So foundations that are strong and those that with divine intercession will be crumbled to the ground and removed or replaced for our highest goods. That tower moment comes It's divine intervention, right? I guess you can call it intervention. But I like to say divine intercession because it's almost like they're bringing you into the center. Balanced. Balanced and centered. Okay? So, do you know what you want? Do you want to know? Shit, I can't talk. So, do you want to know what the world will look like in 2023? These are my beliefs. 2 plus 2 plus 3 equals 7. And 7 in numerology is a highly spiritual number of prosperity. I believe that's what we're heading for. I believe we're going to create a new world with new abundance and new prosperity. And what did they teach us in this quarantine? They taught us how to become self-sufficient. Yeah. I don't have a job, and I'm making money, guys. I'm making money. Am I rich? No, but I'm not. My life, other than the fact that I have been restricted due to a virus that may or may not be as deadly and lethal as they say, because in my heart, and I am an intuitive, so take it as it resonates, but in my heart, I believe they are inflating the numbers a lot. I'm not diminishing the fact that there are really people out there sick with this virus and a lot of people dying because that's the way it was designed, right? It's a game changer. Sorry, it's what it is. But what I'm saying is I think they're taking it and overinflating it because when it's all done and over with, all of these financial institutions that have crumbled because nobody's out there spending money, guess who still has a lot of money in their pockets? And it doesn't matter how many times the market crashes. Those are they think they're going to be the inheritors of the earth. I'm here to say as a light worker, not on my watch. Not on my watch. And that's a timeline. I'm not saying I choose that timeline. I'm saying that I came here to be the light and to stand firmly in the light and to find every day my joy, my peace, my love, my happiness, my determination, because I know we're creating something better from this. All right. So look to how you show up at this very moment. At this moment, how are you showing up? Okay. What in our human world supports the world we're trying to create? And what needs to come crashing down and the debris cleared away forever so we can rebuild as a unified collective? No, not a one world order, but as a world united. I say let it burn and bring on a new foundation built on compassion, community, unity, acceptance, accountability. How can we hold ourselves to good judgment and others to no judgment? And learn to love unconditionally. And that means love without conditions. And as pissed as we get or as unrighteous as it all may seem, the only way we can accomplish a new age, a new world, a new experience is by starting with ourselves. Clean up our own lives and help those who have the same dream to learn how. By our example. I'm so sick of the fear porn that people spread. Remember, fears spread faster than any virus. And there are malevolent energies that know that and harness that and use that. But I'm so very proud of those of you who instead spread joy, light, laughter, kindness, but mostly joy, or faith, hope, and love. Martin Luther King, I'm not, guys. Not a speech person, but I really feel this. So I'm so proud of those of you who spread all of that love and light. You know, faith, hope, and love are the highest vibrations you can be in. You know, faith, hope, love, joy, actually, joy. Joy and love. But the other two are real good foundations, right? So You know who you are. You know what side of the street you're living on, right? You know what you do. If you're spreading the fear, and it's okay, I understand. There have been moments when my dad or people that I love and trust will send me an article or a post or something all about the doomsday and the locusts and the fires and the raging rivers and the blah 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 and the you know timelines. They exist and we coexist side by side, all timelines running at the same time. Be of the world, be in the world, Jesus said, not of it. Be in the world, not of it, right? Don't participate. And don't let the fear grip you, because it did. I mean, they were like, oh, blah, 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 and it hit me. Just for a moment, I allowed myself to really feel it. And I thought, if I die tomorrow, and like I said in my writing, I might. Nobody knows. These are very uncertain times. But if I die tomorrow, is this the world I want to leave behind for my 10-year-old? And do I want to be part of the problem or do I want to be part of the answer? So I just ended this off with, I said, I'm very proud of those of you who instead spread joy, light, laughter, kindness, but mostly faith, hope, and love. And you know who you are. Thank you. You are the lights of the world who shine on brightest to be an example that love is the answer. All right. So love is the answer, guys. It's not. And I also wrote P.S. The question is, what needs to change? The answer is we do. So today I'll start with me. Will you join me? What will our legacy be? I really, really, really do not want my child to be raised in a world that has forgotten how powerful love can be and joy. And everything is dualistic. Everything has a bright side. Everything has a dark side. And it just depends on which side you're looking at or looking for. Because some people are out there looking for the darkest stuff they can find because I don't know, because maybe they're addicted to the fear. They're addicted to the fear. I don't know. But I know that when something dark comes across me, I don't even give it the time of day. I smile and say, hi, I recognize you, but you are not my choice. Bye. And every day, for the most part, like I said, I'm human. I have human moments, moments of fear. Not for me, mostly for my children. But I do have fear at times, and I wonder what this world is going to look like when we're done. And I don't believe that we're going to be done. I just don't feel it. And I'm a very intuitive person. Take it as it resonates. But I feel almost like a child that's been playing with a lot of other children with building blocks. We've been building. I used to run a daycare out of my home, and I loved to watch the kids sit down with a great big giant bin of Legos. Or mega blocks, depending on the age of the child. And watching what their brilliant little minds would create. And some of them created some real crap. But you know what? They would just tear it down. Sometimes they'd throw a little fit, a little temper tantrum. They'd stomp their feet, have a little cry, right? Because they spent so much time and so much energy and so much imagination and creativity in their work, and just to see it come crashing down was kind of a disappointment. But you know what I noticed is that maybe 98.5% of the children would dust themselves off and they would get distracted with another child, and pretty soon they were collaborating and they were building something else, something bigger, something better, something a little bit more foundationally strong too, because they learned from the last building, the last foundation. what didn't work. So in order to know what does work, we have to have the contrast of what didn't work. So I kind of picture us all like that. I picture that, we've been building, 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 and we've allowed a lot of other energies screw with our creations, Put little tricks up their sleeves to, I've seen children like that too. That's the other 1.5%, The ones that wait until you're not looking and they knock your building down. Or they steal a cornerstone because you got to it first and they wanted it to build their building with. But I'm proud to say that I witnessed the majority being the type that collaborated and built together. So how are we going to show up, if we're in daycare and we're building buildings and structures and foundations and institutions and, we've learned through 2020 vision that some of those foundations aren't so foundational, and we've been propping them up with sticks and twigs and glues and whatever for a long time, and maybe it's just time to unburden ourselves and let that creation fall so we can build something stronger, having applied our new knowledge, our new wisdom, right? I'm telling you guys, we're evolving and we're growing and we're leveling up. So that's my channeled message today. Take it or leave it. I don't know. I don't really proclaim to know what everybody will choose, but I'm telling you, I choose the higher timeline. I choose the changed world. I choose to be the one that starts with me. And what does that look like? I haven't really figured it out yet. I've already made huge changes without even thinking about it, quite frankly. I've been having a hard time eating meat, and I don't know. I don't know why. I've never been a humanitarian when it came to meat. I've always ate meat. Now all of a sudden I eat meat, and I'm so empathic. I just feel the energy of it. The low density of the way it was raised and the way it was treated and the way it was fed and the way it was killed, right? So that's changed for me. There are certain meats that I can't eat anymore. And there's certain things that I just, I still tolerate, but not real happily. And so I'm learning, how can I incorporate protein into my diet without sacrificing animals to do it, right? That's my choice. Nobody else has to choose that. You have to go with what resonates with you, I'm not saying there's anything bad about eating meat. And I don't know what our new world would look like if there were no thinning of the herds, right? So to speak. What's humane and what's not humane. But I just have to go with my vibration and what resonates with me. And really, I didn't get a choice. It's almost like, spirit took over, because I've always liked meat. Now it's really difficult to swallow it. And so, other things I've been doing, I've been recycling. I've started with plastic bottles. I'd really like to recycle everything, but in quarantine it would build up way too fast, and I have no way of, taking care of that, other than setting it out for the garbage. The garbage collection here does not recycle. So, but I started with water bottles. My son and I drink an awful lot of bottled water, and we use it to cook with. And, I don't know why. I just feel like that's what I want to do. So I follow my intuition, Other things that I've done to change, I've been really taking a look at, things that I don't need anymore, cleaning out my closets and everything I used to value and hold as a treasure is now becoming just clutter in my space. And so that's another way. What other changes will come from this? I don't know. Another change is, I used to be lazy. I didn't like to go for walks. I didn't like to get out of the house. I would sit and sit and sit and watch TV. And, I ate my way up to 300 and I think it was 15 or 17 pounds. And, that's changed. That's changed. I've lost over 120 pounds, and I eat much, much different now. And I like exercise. I like walking. I like being in nature. I find four-leaf clovers every time I go out. So, the whole time I've been kind of talking with you guys, I've seen all these beautiful birds in the backyard. We accidentally cooked our toast too dark this morning. It was not actually burned. It was just too crunchy. So I broke it all up and threw it out the window. And what a beautiful, beautiful vibe for me to be bringing you this message is that, although we're sitting in the house, and we're not even sure why, right? I mean, frankly, like I said, there's a lot of different timelines that are running. Am I on that timeline? I hope not. I don't think so. Because when I look out the window, I just see beauty. I see sunshine after the rain. And boy, I mean, we had torrential. It was almost biblical in nature. It was just fantastically weird. Because it came on, like it was in the low 50s or high 40s all day. And then all of a sudden it was like, and it was the super full moon. Everything got cold. The clouds came rolling in. The thunder came in. The lightning. It was a show. My son was scared. He didn't want to go to bed. It was a sight to see, guys. It really did seem like the wrath of God. And it only lasted maybe, I don't even know, to be honest, because, now that I'm in quarantine, I never look at a clock. So, but it didn't seem like long, maybe 20 minutes tops. And then it zipped away as quickly as it came. And the next morning it was sunny again, Then we had snow yesterday evening, sunny all day in the high 40s, and then it snowed. It was the weirdest thing. So, yeah, these are strange times. What timeline am I on? I'm not sure, but I think it's a pretty high vibrational one because everything looks beautiful out my back window. And I hope you guys are safe, healthy, and when you look out your window, you don't see pestilence, you don't see natural disasters, you don't see death in the street. I'm just praying that y'all choose to be the highest and best version of yourself you can be, and no more allowing the ego or the lower vibrational part of ourselves, our shadow selves, to choose for us. No more fear, right? No, the universe rewards those who take chances. So I don't know, I just hope that you guys get something out of this video. And I hope you don't unsubscribe because I'm long and boring and preachy, because that's kind of the way I feel today. But I really, really want to make an impact. I really want to impress on everybody that watches these videos. And I ask that Spirit leads those with the eyes to see and the ears to hear. Rate to videos like mine. It doesn't have to be mine. It can be any light worker out there that's putting content out. But I just pray that the power that bees, the source God, Mother, Father, God energy, angels, whatever you call it, I just hope they lead those that need it right here, right into our community, so we can light them up, right? We can send them out into the world so that their spark can catch fire, and other sparks will catch fire, and other sparks, and then we'll have, what do they call it? Critical mass, 100th monkey, where you just hit the tipping point and all of a sudden you create something better. And why? Because you dreamed it, and then you found other people to conspire and co-create with, and that's what I dream. That's my dream, guys. And if that's your dream, help me hold that light. Help me hold that dream. Help me spread that message any way you can. On your YouTube channel, if you have one, or on your Facebook feed, or in your Instagram, or make a banner to hang on your mailbox. It says, we matter, or we'll get through this, or any inspiration at all. Hope, faith, and love. Hope, faith, and love. So this has been, I guess, a channeled message. Maybe channeling my inner big mouth, preachy. I don't know, but whatever it is, I hope it helps all of us to get our shit together and shut off the damn TV and start creating something beautiful so that when the doors are opened and we can go out into the world, we have new poetry, we have new music, we have innovation, we have everything. We are creators, and what does a creator being, which is what we are, what does a creator being create when they're bored? Because I've seen some little kids create some really, really cool stuff when they were bored. And I've seen kids get distracted with things like video games and, I don't know. But it stifles their creativity. Well, for the most part, but I've watched my older boys who are big video gamers use a lot of creativity to win the game too, but I kind of like to see that brought out of the virtual world and into the real world. But there's going to come a time where real world is going to hit them kids right in the head too, and guess what? They're going to be more prepared than any of us. Because when they get out of the virtual and into the reality, they're going to create some pretty great stuff. Yeah. And the one thing that gaming teaches kids that maybe the malevolent beings didn't think about is tenacity and perseverance. I have watched kids play video games where they die and then they get a new life and they try again, and they die and they get a new life and they try again. And man, the tenacity. I got bored watching after the first or second or third try, and then I'm like, you guys have fun, man. I can't watch this, because sometimes it took them 100 tries before they killed the beast or leveled up or whatever. So, I believe that everything is going to come together in divine order, and I believe it's going to start with us. So what can you do today to change how you show up? Small changes make great grounds, guys. Huge. Okay? Small changes. Start with one. Go from there. I love you. I'm going to try to upload this, and if it uploads without any hindrance, because our internet's been on since yesterday, but spotty at best. If this uploads without any trouble, I'm going to go ahead and I think I might do a pick-a-pile instead of all 12 zodiacs, so that in the interest of getting them up, I'll title it What to Expect from the super full moon in April. Something like that. All right. I love you guys. Namaste, and I will see you on the other side.